Right, hello and welcome. Today we are going over the 2006 Dodge Viper SRT10 Coupe. So this is a Dodge Viper that I think is honestly one of the best out of there. Out of all of the generations, this is a personal favorite of mine. So this vehicle, you can get your hands on it from picking up from either Brand Central or the used car dealership. So from Brand Central it will run you 130,000 credits, or from the used car dealership for 115,500. Now this car is quite powerful, with it having an 8.3 liter naturally aspirated V10 that produces 509 brake horsepower, and it can do 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, a standing quarter mile in 12.2, and has a top speed of 310 kilometers per hour. And the vehicle only weighs 1,565 kgs, which is 3,450 pounds. So the vehicle isn't really that heavy and it is quite fast. So with this Dodge Viper, Dodge themselves decided, you know what, we need to make a difference. And they wanted to stray away from the stigma of American sports cars only being fast down a straight line. What they did was they grabbed the team and sent the vehicle over to the Nürburgring, and this is where they started developing and tuning the vehicle to make sure that it is not only fast down straightaways but also through the corners, because they just didn't want to be known as a fast American sports car, but they wanted to be known as a supercar. And in order to do that, well, it needed to go through the corners, and to do that you can see the vehicle is a lot lighter than the previous model and it produces a bit more power. Down the straightaway around Kyoto Driving Park, you're gonna find yourself traveling at over 230 kilometers per hour before you need to slam on the brakes to go into the first corner. Now, I'll be the first to admit it, there is a bit of understeer. Now coming into the first corner, you can feel the front end wanting to push out, so you do have to correct it and just try to keep it in line and keep going as fast as possible. Now when it came to the S's, well, there wasn't really much slippage from the rear end. You were able to carry a bit of speed and really just get the car going. However, as I said, the understeer is the biggest downfall when it comes to this vehicle's overall handling. But when it comes to acceleration and braking, well, that's actually quite good. The braking, look, it can see some improvements which we will touch on once we head on over to the tuning shop, but overall it's not that bad. I've experienced a lot worse, and honestly, I mean, it gets the job done. But then acceleration and top speed, as I said, once you come out of a corner and you put your foot flat and you aren't lighting up the rear wheels, because it does that occasionally, the car accelerates extremely hard and you just feel yourself chugging along. With it having no additions of forced induction, the vehicle just honestly chugs along. It has such a constant power band where you can just feel the car is gaining speed insanely quickly. Now look, it's not the fastest thing out there, because around Kyoto Driving Park I was sitting an average lap time around the 1 minute 49 second mark, which look, isn't the fastest thing out there, but my fastest lap was a 1 minute 48 and my overall best time could have been a 1:47. So for a stock sports car from like the mid 2000s, it's not too shabby. So now let's say you want to see the real performance of this Dodge Viper. Well, then you need to head on over to the tuning shop, and after you do that, well, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money, because there's actually quite a decent amount of options when it comes to upgrades for this Dodge Viper. Now after spending, as I said, a lot of money on just performance upgrades as well as weight reduction, you are going to be left with 938 brake horsepower and a vehicle that weighs 1,158 kgs. So the vehicle is a lot lighter and produces a lot more power. So if we then head on over to GT Auto to now update the looks to go with the updated power, we see that we have two options for a front lip, we have one option for a side skirt, and we have two options for a rear wing, one being an addition like a ducktail lip and the other one being a fully customizable racing rear wing. And then there's liveries, tons of them that you can pick from. But now that your vehicle's looks now match the overall performance, how does it feel to be behind the wheel of the Dodge Viper being fully upgraded? So around KL Driving Park, the biggest thing that I can see or notice immediately is the lack of understeer. That was the biggest downfall. Honestly, you would think with the Dodge Viper that oversteer would be the dominating factor when it came to handling. However, it was understeer. So now with us hitting in, tuning it, we actually got rid of, I'd say, 98% of understeer. You do get hints of it every now and then, but you are able to really just push this vehicle extremely hard through the corners, get it from apex to apex, clipping point to clipping points, to set blistering fast lap times, to really push the Dodge Viper to its absolute limits. And when I tell you, it absolutely loves every minute of it. The Dodge Viper is so exciting to get behind the wheel of, and with it having racing soft tires, maxed out downforce, the performance points of the Dodge Viper isn't really that bad. I mean, we see that we are still under 800 performance points, but this is where it becomes a typical Viper, because if you think of using a vehicle for like money grinding events, just don't. Will only get you about 1.5 laps around the WTC 700 around Le Mans before you need to jump into the pits. So look, it's not the best thing out there, and even lap times wise, it isn't going to be setting blistering fast lap times to make up for the poor fuel efficiency. So honestly, money grinding, I'd say stay away from it if I'm going to be honest with you. So the Dodge Viper, it is a fantastic vehicle. However, it's not the best Viper out there. If we're gonna be completely honest with ourselves, the newer Viper has a lot more power, it is faster, because this vehicle fully upgraded, you will find yourself sitting lap times around a 1 minute 32 second mark, which, I mean, look, for this vehicle isn't too bad at all. However, if we look at the newer Viper, it costs roughly the same amount, and that Viper just has so much more character. You can add a Bugatti Chiron engine in it, and it is overall just a better car in my opinion. But I guess that's what comes with years of developments and improvements of a vehicle. However, don't let me put this Viper down, because this is still a really good Dodge Viper. The 2006 Dodge Viper is still a pleasure to drive. However, it's just not the best Viper out there. So if you guys did go on to enjoy this video, don't forget, leave a like, comment, subscribe for more Gran Turismo content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.